Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. It is May 14th. It's almost 11 here, Arizona time. I hope my message finds you in a good place today and that you've had a great week. We're almost at the end of the week, already coming up on the weekend here shortly, which I'm happy about that. And also hoping that you guys have been staying healthy. So I'm feeling a little bit of comfort that things are starting to open up a little bit. Am I going to rush out and go places? No. Am I going to take baby steps and go places? A little at a time? Yes. And we all know that with this quarantine and the social distancing and this virus, that when we go somewhere, it's not going to be the same anywhere. And I almost feel like time was bought while we've been quarantined so that these places and businesses can alter the design within their building or their restaurants or whatever, because it takes time and money. So behind the scenes, yeah, we are quarantined behind the scenes, but all these places, they have needed time to add more plexiglass or to, change up the, the schematics, the setup of everything. Because if they want the social distancing to still occur, then people have to change the atmosphere of their business, whether it be a restaurant, a clothing store, the library, and things like that, places like that. So it's going to be interesting. I have not been to anywhere but probably the grocery store, maybe Walmart. So I've experienced and then, places to eat where they have the tape on the floor and things like that. So I'm preparing myself mentally. It's common sense that, it's not going to be the same because we've been in quarantine for months. So I think even the schools, they might even, it's a possibility. I mean, maybe school will be delayed for fall so that they can finish, probably redesigning, the classrooms, who knows? That's just a guesstimation, of what I'm thinking, which would make sense if they want people to still social distance themselves and everything. So I myself, I have been in a position mentally and spiritually that I'm not going to live in fear. When this virus came out, I've never felt moved to live in fear, but I did feel moved to take precautions and everything, but never in fear. We never felt the need to, go panic shopping or anything like that. And as I mentioned before, I think because, when you've gone through so many things or hardships that you've experienced and experienced, death and things like that, your mindset is a little bit different than the average person. It's not that you think you're better or on a high horse. It's that your thought process is different. And it's not that you're aloof to things happening around you, but you're not as moved as society would respond or the world. So that's basically where I'm at, is I'm at a place of calmness because of the things that, have gone on for the past couple years. The experiences have been way worse than this virus, And I just, we've been so blessed within my four walls that can't afford to live in fear. I'm not going to do it. So when the operative moment speaks to me to go certain places, with friends, and if family's not comfortable, I can understand that. But if I have a friend that wants to, maybe go out, by all means, I'm going to do it. And I just have to just pray that, protection over me, that's all we can do, because if we continue to live in fear, then that means that we will never leave our houses because of what we've been told. And that's not a good thing, because the longer we're away from one another, the more comfortable we'll get with staying at home. And that scares me. I don't know if it scares anybody else, the thought of it, but we were already in a position of lack of communication with one another with modern technology. And so, to go a step further and we're physically having to stay home, don't you think that would affect our mentality somewhat? Our mentality, and affects us emotionally to where it's almost like we're programmed to think, okay, I need to stay home. I'm scared, and I'm scared to go out there. I'm scared to catch the virus. You know what? In my eyes, I feel like anybody who's had any similar symptoms to the virus, I feel like, this is just my thought, you don't have to agree with me, but 9 times out of 10, probably 98% of people have had this virus, and we don't even know it. Why? Because most of us were probably misdiagnosed, for one reason. They wanted to smooth it over and say a lot of people had bronchitis, or it was just the cold that they had, when they themselves, they knew in the medical field what was going down, and they knew about this long before. And so that's what makes it crazy. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go along to get along. Like I said, I've always beat to my own drum. I'm an independent thinker. I'm a very individual type of person, the way I think, the way I move. And I don't care what their opinions of me. The only one I am getting judged by is our Maker. So that is, and to be concerned about him wearing a mask, or her, or them, that's not my business. The only business that I need to be concerned with is Shannon's business and what's going on in my 4 walls. Because when you start getting involved in what other people are doing and what they're not doing, then that means you're not minding your own business and affairs in your own life. And so then it becomes messy. And so I'm like, I don't care what somebody else does. What I care about is what's going on here, and that we're staying healthy, and that, we do what makes us comfortable. Okay, so everybody does what's comfortable. You cannot force people. You cannot hate people, or be mean to people, or control people into what you want them to do or be, because we're all individuals, and you can't control a person, because people are going to do as they want to, regardless of what others think. Okay, so this war that we're at right now with one another is ridiculous, because this is a time where we need to really be, I don't care what they say on TV about the commercials, we're all in this together. No, we're not. Because if we were all in this together, we would be trying to come together as a humanity, and we're not. We're more divided now, more than racism, over masks and people angry because somebody's here or there, and it's freaking ridiculous. So again, I try to pull back from that and mind my own manners, and do what I need to do, and everything. So with that being said, I'm going to say today's topic, I'm going to make it topic number 9. And this topic that I titled it this morning, that was, I was kind of brainstorming. And I'm going to say today's topic number 9 will be, I never thought that we would be in the place that we're in the world at this moment. So, and the reason why I say that, because I never thought that I would see or witness so much chaos, confusion, so much corruption, manipulation, so much deceit, so much hatred, and so many divisive things, so much distraction. It's crazy, And being that I'm an empathetic type of person, that affects me. So to watch the news and things like that, the only really information that I get is off of Facebook, or I might, look at an article or something on my phone. But as far as engaging myself with CNN, Fox News, whatever. I'm not interested. I'd rather much watch my reality shows and, have some laughter or whatever, or watch a good movie. I don't want to be watching any of that because it's poison. It's toxic. And with me, I internalize that kind of stuff, and it makes me depressed, and it makes me sad, and it makes me angry, and it makes me feel all kinds of emotions that I don't want to spend time on. I don't want to spend my energy on because life is too short, and we know that. So I try to do things, that are more positive. Now, sometimes I do get in my mood where I vent or whatever, but I try not to even do that often lately. I've been really focusing on doing more positive stuff. I'm really focused right now. I'm really excited about beginning a new chapter in my new products for my Quiet Voice Speaking Mind line that I have. I'm adding on a line of tea. So I have my own trademark and my own trade name, which has been approved. I'm just waiting to get my certificates in the mail so I can move forward. Do I know anything about tea? No. But I was blessed with this idea, and all you have to do, it starts with an idea, and you can run with it from there. So that's me. I like to be creative, so I'm like, okay, let me take a chance. And so far, it's moving along. I know, it's going to be baby steps or whatever, but I'm excited because I'm excited about some flavors that I want to try to experiment with and things like that. And, I'll go from there. But it's something positive that I'm doing. I want to do, that's where I, long to be, just being positive and doing positive things. Because each one of us, we need to make sure that we don't have to leave a legacy all the time, but we need to leave a very good imprint in when we leave. We want good things to follow us when we leave. Things, you don't necessarily have to do things to be known as a good person. You can be things. You can be so many things and be positive and encouraging and build people up instead of tear them down. So, we all can work in that area. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So it's always a work in progress for me. And this, if anything, from this quarantine, we needed, to make sure that we have taken something valuable from the time that we've spent, whether it be by ourselves, with our family, with our husbands, our boyfriends, our roommates, or whatever. Hopefully, we have taken time. We have had plenty of time to self-reflect about ourselves and the people around us. So there's no excuse. I'm hoping that we all have something that we've gained from this, and not just lost something, but we've gained from it some positive things and realizations and epiphanies and things like that. So that's basically where I'm at. I know that I am very lengthy today, but I haven't really put anything on here really lengthy because I've been focusing on, doing the homeschooling or remote learning or distance learning, whatever they call it, with our daughters. So that's been my primary focus. And so that's going to be my focus after I, load this onto YouTube as well. And so at this point, her schoolwork has taken precedence. That's the most important thing right now. Everything else has to fall to the wayside. And, I even try to be considerate with, when I get phone calls and things like that, to let whomever know that, hey, I'm doing this or whatever. I will call you back as soon as I can, or I'll try to text. I really try to keep in contact with people. I try. I haven't been doing it as much because it's been so crazy busy. And everything has just been thrown off course with the virus going on, and it's just throwing everything off. Life has been thrown off and everything, but it's a curveball that I think we've all done a wonderful job at dealing with the curveball, and with the deaths that have happened around us and everything. So, with that being said, I do have a poem for you guys that I wrote yesterday, and I wanted to read it. What's funny is I don't know how actual and factual this is because it's been very hot here in Arizona. And starting in the last 2 weeks of April, it's been very hot. It was in the hundreds, and then it's been hot. Today it feels good. Now, that was this morning earlier when I took our dogs out. Was pretty nice. So I don't know what it's going to be like for the remainder of the day because it's only past 11 o'clock now. But supposedly what they said in the media, I don't know if this is even scientifically correct, but they said that the COVID virus, it doesn't do well with heat, humidity, or sunlight, okay? So we have all of that here, okay? We have really not as much humidity right now because we're not in the monsoon season. But some days it does feel a little bit more, moisture in the air, but not a lot right now. But it's been hot, and we have plenty of sunlight here. So it'll be interesting to see, if that's a true statement. I would really love to know, if they find that to be true. Right now it's hard to believe, but I'll believe it when I see it. So anyways, I'm going to read you guys this poem, and then I'm going to end it. For the day is topic number 9, and then topic number 10, I'll probably do that last topic next week on a more better note, but hopefully you find some type of comfort, in my message today. So I hope you guys have a good rest of the week, and we got the weekend approaching. I'm ready for it. I don't know about you. So the poem that I titled today is called Fear Over Freedom. From the beginning, they've never genuinely cared for or about our well-being. If the powers that be could have their own way, they'd invest in a humongous plastic bubble to suffocate us from within, silently killing us mentally and physically, while controlling the very way we breathe, eat, work, and robbing us of joy while we sleep. We willingly handed our lives over to these people on a silver platter to own and keep. So they continue to dangle the mighty dollar in our faces in order to make sure that we stay still and put in our places. Because we reside in a country where money excites, ignites, and stimulates our souls. They want us as people to go blind in hopes that we will lose track of our days and our goals. They keep adding more and more days to keep us divided by way of quarantine. They are experimenting on us as if we are guinea pigs, a part of a comedy scene, while directing and dictating our every move, schedules, and daily routines. Hope you guys have a good rest of the week and you've enjoyed my message. Have a blessed day, you guys. Bye.